I'd like to show you how I train the gait and the reverse gait on a horse that hasn't done it before. Before approaching the gait, it's important that my horse has the training in order to be successful at the obstacle itself. There are a couple exercises that I go through in the Working Equitation Training manual that are especially important for preparing a horse to do the gait confidently and correctly. Exercise 13, box step, and exercise 25, one step at a time, are my favorites for helping a horse be properly prepared to work on the gait. There are other important skills to have as well, such as being able to ride one-handed. I've also spent some time making sure that this horse is comfortable with his right hind foot next to the obstacle. We'll watch that right hind foot as we go through to see how it steps away and how that can be the start of problems happening at the gait. This is my first time ever riding this horse, and I wanted to feel what his owner was feeling like when she was riding him through the gait. So I'm making little corrections here, but I'm going to try and go all the way through the gait the first time to see what happens. You can see there he's looking back. He's a little bit concerned. We see his haunches swing away there. I ask him to bring him back, and he does, but not for long. He wants to step away again. As we go through the opening, I ask him to stop and wait for me, which he does. And he does again. And then when we get to the point where we go around the gate, he takes over and brings himself pretty far away, overcorrects, and we end up having to drop the gate. Now, watch what I do here. A lot of times people would just turn the horse around and use their left hand to close the gate, but that's not what I'm going to do. I want to make it clear to the horse that that gate stays on his right side all the time. So I back him into position to where my knee is next to that gate latch again. And I'm going to go back to what I call position 1. Now, position 1 is where you would ride up to the gate initially and stop with your right knee right next to the latch, right here. This is position 1, and this is where I want the horse to feel comfortable and safe. Notice how he's leaning away. He doesn't feel particularly comfortable or safe at this point, but we're going to watch and see if, as we go through this training, if that changes. So here what I've done is I've just picked up the latch, I've stepped 2 steps back, and then went forward back to position 1 again. I'm going to do it again, 2 steps back, but maybe now I'll push the gate over a step or 2. And then I'm going to take him back to position 1. Again, position 1, that's where it feels good. That's where it's safe and secure. He's going to stay with me. Now we'll go a little bit further this time. 2 steps back, 2 steps over and forward, then we stop. Did you notice how he wanted to push through a little bit and keep walking? He listened when I asked him to stop, but it wasn't going to be his first inclination if I had let him go and do his own thing there. And now we're going to go back to position 1. We'll spend a little time here. And this horse is pretty calm and with me. He's not getting anxious about this at all. If he was anxious, I'd probably take time to go off and do other things and then come back. So now we've gotten to where we were the last time. Maybe we'll take one more step and then we stop. Pause there for a moment and then back to position 1. What we're trying to avoid is for the horse to take over and just kind of fling himself through the gate opening. What I am trying to teach him is that there's about 20 steps, 20 positions he should be in, each step being a different position, and that he's comfortable and he's familiar with where his legs should be during each one of those steps. I'm going to take it a step further this time, and then we're going to back up and go back to position 1. Notice that when we get back to position 1, he feels pretty okay with himself. He doesn't want to leave. He's happy to stay here. If your horse does want to leave at this point, let him. Go do something else for a minute. Most horses can't stand here and just keep drilling this over and over. They need a little break between. So feel what your horse is telling you. Okay, so we're going to keep coming through a little bit at a time. Okay, we took one extra step here. Just see, you kind of took over. You took 2 more steps than I wanted. I corrected him. This is where we should have been. And now we're going to go back to position 1. At this point, he's getting into the habit of knowing that we're going to get to a certain point, and then we're going to go backwards and go back to position 1. Now I accidentally untied my rope latch there, so I'm going to retie it here for a moment, which is a great thing to do when you're in position 1. Position 1 should be your horse's neutral resting position when you're at the gate. So maybe you're going to have to fiddle with that gate latch. Maybe something weird happened and you got your stirrup caught under the rope or something odd. You want your horse to want to stay here and let you figure stuff out. All right, here we go again. We're going to go through. Watch this time to see if he stays with me or if he pushes through my right leg or left leg. Yeah, he stayed with me. He didn't push through there. Good boy. Now I'm going to turn the front end around. He went a little too far with his haunches there, stepping that right hind foot away from the gate, but not so bad, and we're able to shut the gate. So now I've been able to ride this horse forward through the gate. In doing so, I've actually already trained him to do the reverse gate, which is what we're doing here. Oops, went too far. That's okay. Remember what I did before? We're going to keep that gate on my right side as we go to close it. I'm not mad, just repositioning him back to where he should be. Like I said, it's his first day on the gate. He's doing fine. Good, back to position 1. A pause, time to think about how great it is to be here at position 1. It's a happy place. Checking in with his mental state, making sure he's still with me and doesn't need to go do something else for a minute. He's feeling pretty good. We're going to try again. Couple steps back, couple steps pushing, couple steps through. Good. Taking time at each different position to make sure the horse feels comfortable being squeezed between the gate and the gate latch area. Being comfortable with his haunches towards that standard. Being capable of moving back towards the standard without his haunches getting too far away from it as he goes to close it. See him step over with that right hind? That's what a lot of horses really struggle with, is that stepping over with the right hind. Okay, now let's give this reverse gate another try. Brought his shoulders away. Notice here we're not letting any cows get out of that gate. He's blocking the gate with his body, which is part of the objective of doing the reverse gate and the gate properly, is to make sure that the opening is always blocked with the horse's body so cows can't run past you. I've still got control of that gate. My hand slid on the wood, and then we stopped here, and he did a very good job on that reverse gate. So that's how I like to train the reverse gate and the forward gate at the same time. To learn how to do the preparatory exercises I talked about in the introduction of this video, go to www.horseandriderbooks.com and purchase your copy of the Working Equitation Training Manual. You'll also find preparatory exercises for all the other working equitation obstacles, as well as descriptions on how to do the obstacles themselves in competition. I'm Allie Kermeen. Thank you for watching this video.